As a young girl growing up that was very close to her nana, she would often put me right beside her while she pats my back and repeat these words. Listen, in this life, it is always best to do things by yourself than to be trapped in a situation with someone or some people that does not mean you well. Just look at my life. I don't have friends, neither do I have a man. And you know why that is? It's because I chose my happiness. It's because I chose my peace. Never let anybody steal your joy and never let anybody steal your happiness, even if it means you staying alone. I never really understood what these words meant, but as I got older, I met upon the reality of my own demise in having persons around me that did not mean me well. So now that I'm in my 30s and my grandma is now with the Lord, I can now say I completely understand when she says that going low contact or no contact at all is sometimes the best way to live because your happiness should be your uttermost priority. Hello girly girl, welcome back to my platform. It is a lovely Tuesday mid-morning, and when I say that my apartment is so peaceful right now, it is not funny. Baby girl is taking her nap and my son, as you know, would be at school. And I am just lounging in the experience, you guys, of having just such solitude and such peace of mind. And I really just wanted to radiate some of this experience through my screen to you guys because it is such a wonderful feeling that I'm having for myself this lovely, not so cold winter morning, right? And as I started off the video, really just giving you guys a little history of my life, I really do want to tap into a very sensitive topic for me, and it's not just for me actually. Oh, by the way, my tea. So I am having this winter spice tea bags, but they are so good. That's what I'm having in my very cute winter mug. As I was saying, girly girl, I am just in such a peaceful season of my life right now that it's not even funny. There was a time in my life, and this is where I was giving you guys like a little history of my background, where I used to be that little girl who would go and sit right beside my grandma after school on the weekends and just have that really deep conversation, you know those grandmas that would pull you beside her as that little girl in the family, and she would give you like those hard lessons. I was that little girl who my grandma would pour into so much, like all her life lessons, all the things that she wished she did. All these things, my grandma would use that opportunity to pour into me and just to give me the great amount of knowledge that she has acquired over her years. And you guys, I must say that it took me 20 something years when she told me then of how important it was for you to not let anybody at all in this world steal your happiness. Like, I could not understand it then because my mind was more focused on finding that companion, right? My mind was more focused on being that friend. Like, there was a season in my life, you guys, when I hated, when I say hated, this girl hated the idea of even walking outside by myself, much more to be living by myself. Like, I was such a scaredy cat. And so now that I'm in the season of my life where I'm living with just myself and my 2 children, and I've seen just how much peace this has brought me, like going low contact and in some cases no contact at all with not just spouses. No, this is not just about spouses, and that's what I want you guys to understand. Like, this is way more than just me talking about an intimate partner. This is about family members who betrayed me. This is about family members who would stab me in the back indirectly. This is about family members who would talk behind my back. This is about family members who would choose other family members over me. This is just about an entire life detox of persons who I thought were supposed to be my ride or die, or persons who I wanted to be in my circle. I had to do a major life detox, and I went cold turkey on most of these persons. I made a video on this maybe 2 videos ago where I was mentioning the fact that I had to do some self-love actions, and this was definitely one of them that I said was the biggest one ever. And that's the fact that you have to just go no contact or sometimes low contact with persons around you who steals your joy, who steals your peace of mind. And while it can be a very scary, very scary thing to even even do and go life all by yourself, I must say that once you have gotten into the hang of it, you will see how beautiful it is, girly girl. You will see just how much joy you will accumulate in knowing that you have nobody in your circle that is draining you, that is making you sin yourself, that is making you do things that you don't want to do, that is forcing you to compromise your standards and your boundaries and just your overall identity and character as a person. And so, girl, as I mentioned in my last video, which was Sunday, when I was a bit too emotional, I just wanted to explain to you guys that it was never because I was sad. It was never because I felt lonely. It was never because I regretted my decision in doing life by myself, going forward with just my children. It was merely a fact that, girl, you finally understood what your grandma was saying to you. You finally understood the fact that anybody at all in this world that makes you feel as though you don't want to live or makes you feel like living is not worthwhile, get away from them and get used to doing life by yourself. As I said, I was that girl who was afraid of being lonely. I was that girl who was so afraid of being in my me, myself and I alone era that I would literally just have people come into my circle and be around me. I was that girly, guys, who was so afraid of being seen by myself and doing things by myself. And it wasn't until I entered some very draining and some very hurtful situations where I realized that the people that I had around me did not mean me well, then I started to realize just how important it was for me to start doing things solo, for me to find a whole new definition of life. And that for me meant not letting anybody decide how I live my life, right? And so I want us to be very intentional as we're closing out 2024, because I don't know about you, girly girl, but 2024 was a year of lessons for me. 2024 was a year of opening up all the wounds for me. Like, all the band-aids were lifted off all the wounds that I tried to cover up over the years. And so know that I am finally at that stage where I can proudly say I am happy to do life by myself, and I'm happy that I've gone low or no contact with most, like, I don't have one person in my family that I can call you guys and have like a real heart-to-heart conversation with. I have nobody in my circle, and I kid you not, I have nobody in my circle that I can pick up my phone and say, hey, I need to tell you the most vulnerable side of me. I need to tell you some really deep secrets. Like, I cannot. And I've found peace with that. At first, I was so upset with God. I was so mad. I was so angry because I was like, God, all my childhood years, all my teenage years, I lived in fear. I lived in just isolation. And now that I'm an adult and I was finally trying to, you know, create my own circle of friends, my own circle of people, you took them all away from me. Like, you took them all away. You emptied my circle. Like, you were like, girl, not only am I going to empty the circle, I'm going to scrub the circle as well. And so I was literally that girl who God threw into the furnace, and he was like, I'm going to refine all angles of your life. And a major part of this meant that you had to walk away or move away from every single soul in your life that did not mean you well, or I did not see fitting for this journey that I want to take you on. And so this really got me upset, you guys. This really took a big part of my heart, especially on days when I want a break from my children, especially on days when I just want to be in my own head, and I see other moms bragging about the fact that, oh, my mom has the kids, or my husband's side of family has the kids, and I'm like, shit, so where's my support system? Like, I have no support system. And I understand why. I never understood why before, because as I said, I was still blindsided by the fact that these persons did not mean me well. But it took me really sitting down and seeing that God was the only one who had a heart of gold for me, that I really found peace in the situation. I hope that makes sense, right? I really do hope that makes a lot of sense. But at first, girly girl, I could not understand why he gave me the courage to tell most of these persons, even my own mother, my own father that, look, I have to go low contact with you guys. And if you continue disrespecting me, if you continue belittling me, if you continue using my children in a favoritism way where you favor one child over the other as to how we were grown, I was grown, I'm sorry, but I will go no contact. I will go no contact with you, because that was a major traumatic experience that I had as a child growing up, and that is listening to my mother tell me every single day how much she preferred having boys over girls, and I was the only girl out of 5 children, right? Even as I had started having my own children, I would realize that she wanted to push off these same generational baggages or curse or whatever on my children. Then she'd use my son's name and she's like, where's that precious one? You know you're my sweet boy, and you know you're the one I choose, you know you're the one that has my heart, and you know you're the one that this thing. And she would literally belittle my daughter in front of my face. And I remember one day she opted to send my son some Christmas money, or I don't remember what it was, some special occasion money, because you know Caribbean people, they're always using money to give you as a gift when a special season come around. And she was like, oh, I'm sending this money for the boy, for my son, and I will send for the baby at another time. And I was like, no, if you're going to send any money at all, it will be for both. Even if it's $5, one will get $2.50 and the other one will get $2.50. In my household as a mom, I don't favor my children. And she got really pissed at that. And that was a major cue, you guys, a major cue that I had to really allow myself to process and not operate from a side of anger, but more so breaking that generational curse of making any of my children feel as though one was more precious than the other. Because this literally damaged my life, you guys, as a child growing up. And even when I tried to explain to them months ago how much this affected me, it never got resolved. And so these are some of the major reasons why I say, in cases like these, you have to learn that going low contact or no contact at all, even with your very parents, is best because of your peace of mind, because of your growth, because of the journey that you have to now go on for yourself and the children that you have or will have, right? And I don't want you to get this from a standpoint of being dishonorable or anything of the sort, because you can have a low contact with your parents and be very much honorable. You can have a no contact with your parents and be very much honorable. And I find that this is where I am in my life right now. I honor you, I respect you, I will call on special occasions, I do what I need to do, but going out of my way anymore to ensure that you guys are okay, no. Going out of my way anymore to make sure that I'm the one that's always making the first call, no. Going out of my way to ensure that you feel good, even if it means me putting myself on the back burner or my children on the back burner, no. Do I get up every day and just call you randomly anymore? No. And that's the part that I want to say that it really hurts, is the fact that they didn't even attempt to make amends even after I stopped, right? And it just goes to show that there was literally some amount of, what would I say, issue? Maybe I can say issue that was there that really needed to be resolved, or that would never be resolved, hence the reason for the low to no contact. And so this started with my parents, I must say. It really started with my parents, and from then that's where it spilled over into other areas of my life, when I realized that, you know what, girl, you seem happier when you don't go anywhere with anybody. You seem happier when your phone does not ring often. You seem happier when your phone is not binging with texts every 5 seconds. You seem happier when nobody knows where you're going. Like, you seem happier. So what is the issue? Are you saying that you don't want to be around people anymore? No, that was not the case. The case was that I had the wrong people in my circle. I had people in my circle that was literally draining me, knew they were draining me, and would not stop draining me until I realized that they were actually draining me. Hope that makes sense, right? So basically, that's how I actually got to this stage of my life where I can now say that I have found peace in being alone. But trust me, girly girl, I am nowhere near lonely, right? I have my 2 children that gives me enough work and enough activities on a day-to-day basis to keep my ass very much busy. And I don't mind that, because at the end of the day it distracts me from everybody else around me that is no longer in my circle. And yes, sometimes it gets really overwhelming, sometimes it gets very pressuring, sometimes it gets very what's the word, I would say demotivating, when I do need a break and I don't have anybody at all to lean on. But it is better to lean on yourself and to do things by yourself than to lean on somebody that is only going to hurt you at the end of the day. So girly girl, today is just a very quiet and soft and tender day of reflections and just gratitude, and just me being very proud of the fact that I have made some very uncomfortable decisions in my life so that I could experience this level of happiness. And I am very much proud of myself for doing this. I am very much happy for the fact that I did not allow my emotions to get the best of me anymore, but to think logically as to the version of myself that I know I want to become, and to also acknowledge the fact that me being around these persons or having these persons in my circle will not get me to that stage. And thanks to God for really pushing that button, because if he did not push that button as hard as he did, I promise you this girl would have still been in maybe all of those situations, right? We are going to do some dinner because it is 1:30 in the afternoon. Within an hour time I have to pick up my son from school. It's going to already be 3 o'clock, so we're not going to be doing anything fussy at all today. I just wanted to share a very real moment with you guys, where this is what happiness looks like even when you're doing nothing. This is what a contented mind looks like even when you have nowhere to go. This is what a smile looks like even when you have nobody to smile with, because most of the times we are so caught up in trying to distract ourselves so much from our reality that we don't allow ourselves to feel the emotions, right? So this is me just feeling the emotions and also being very grateful of the fact that I am now in a phase of my life where I feel proud of the fact that I no longer have people in my circle, girly girl, that is draining me of my energy. You guys already know that in everything that we do, we set the mood. We love to romanticize our days. We love to ensure that we are feeling our very best. So by now I'd assume that you have your candle. So once it is that you're going to be cooking your dinner, girl, romanticize that dinner by lighting your candle also, okay? Learn from Octavia and light your candle. If you hear any like banging sounds, guys, my baby girl is up, so of course she's doing her little playing because mommy's busy talking to the girlies. So don't mind the banging, right? She's just on the floor playing with her toys.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could stare at you for 100 years and I never blink an eye. You were beautiful, just like a flower. I could walk with you for 1,000,000 miles and my feet would not get tired. Where you go, I'll go, winter or summer. I don't care the seasons change, 'cause darling, I'll stay, I'll stay, I'll stay right here with you. Every night and every day. 'Cause darling, there's nothing in this world I'd rather do. Never been this close to heaven. Never felt something just like this. Ecstasy. Never been this close to heaven. I don't know if this is real or fantasy, or somewhere in between, or somewhere in between. Oh yeah. You could fall asleep for 100 hours and I wouldn't miss a thing. I would keep you safe while you were dreaming. You could scream and shout, cry 1,000 tears, and I wouldn't let fear win. What you feel, I feel. Together we're healing. I don't care
came across this quote and I wanted to share it with you guys, and it reads, "To find peace, sometimes you have to be willing to act with independency and end your connections with the people, places, and things in your life that create a legacy of toxicity. It's not that you're being selfish for a need of space or to breathe. In fact, it might be the most loving thing that you can do for yourself." And as someone who has gone through so many life changes and learned so many lessons over the last year, I can say that we can't just make a relationship work with someone who doesn't have the capacity to self-reflect and understand what patterns they need to work on in order to make their relationship with us loving and peaceful. And so, girly girl, I want this video to be your sign, where if it is that you have anybody at all in your circle that is draining you of your energy, that is not making you feel as though your self-worth is valid, that is not listening to you when you speak, that is belittling you or making you feel uncomfortable overall, that you made that first step in choosing yourself by going low to no contact. And I want you to understand also, girly girl, that while this may be a very scary decision for you to make, you will find out just how happier you become in your later days once you start to put yourself first and eliminate anything out of your life that no longer serves you. It took me a while to really see how important it was for me to protect my peace, and so anybody at all in my circle that compromised this decision for me was definitely a no-no. So let this video be your sign, as I always say, girly girl, to put yourself first in every single situation, because nothing at all is more important than you living out your best life, with you being very much acknowledgeable that your happiness is one of your most priceless gems that you need to protect.
Hello, girly girl. We are finished with dinner. As you realize, I cleaned up my kitchen afterwards because I am that type of woman that loves to know that when I'm about to eat dinner, my kitchen is already cleaned. Like, I hate to see a messy kitchen, because eating for me, as you guys know, I like to sit down and maybe watch like a movie or another YouTube video, girl. So I do not like to have an untidy kitchen once I'm finished looking about dinner. So I just went ahead and just cleaned down my entire kitchen, because not only when I'm cleaning do I clean the surfaces like the stove and the countertops, girl, I clean everywhere. Like, I get into the nit and grit of my kitchen once I light that stove to cook, because I do not like to see like oil splashes over my kitchen or anything like that. Like, I do not like that. So I went ahead, did something really quick and easy. As you saw, like, pasta is my children's favorite food. They will eat pasta every single day of the week if they get the opportunity to. And so I just found that this was a really good meal for me to cook, especially for the fact that I had the shrimp in the freezer. They don't want any more curry, and the pasta would have been the next best option, right? So went ahead, did that. I still have a little time before I need to go pick him up from school, so I'm just really resting and relaxing and doing the do for myself. So I need to drink my Celsius juice. This flavor is the mango passion fruit. I can't remember if I've ever had this before, but the story behind this juice, you guys, is that I don't drink coffee. I love myself my matcha. However, I don't drink matcha every single day, which I probably will start doing in the new year as a part of my morning routine. As you guys know, I'm trying to work on my morning routine. So starting maybe like the end of this year into next year, I will start to drink my matcha every single day. However, in the interim, I have been doing these Celsius juice, and I really do love them, you guys, especially for the fact that they are very fruity, they are frizzy. So I love it. And it has 200 grams, I believe. Let me see. It has 200 mgs of caffeine content in there. So it's sugar-free, gluten-free, it's kosher, non-GMO, vegan. Love that. I think I'm not gonna have all of it either, because trust me, girl, when I drink this thing and I need to go sleep in the night, it is still raging in my body. And the thing, as I said, that I love about this the most is that you don't get like this instant caffeine boost from it. It takes its own time for your body to absorb it. And so with that, I find that in the night, like even 7 p.m, 8 p.m, 9 p.m, I'm still filled with energy. I'm still very much alert. I'm still kicking, you know. And as I mentioned to you guys already, like my kids, I need this to survive with these children. Need this to survive. I don't drink it every single day, like every other day. So this is the last one that I have for the week. And I had these from last week. So I'm doing pretty good on it, right? I'm not that girl that needs to survive off caffeine. But when I do drink it, I find that I really do get the energy that I need. So now that we've basically done every little thing that I think I need to do for today, dinner is out the way. Perfect. Love that for me. I have gotten so used to using plastic plates to do like dinner and breakfast because it saves me time. Like anything at all that brings me peace and that brings me any amount of efficiency in my life, I go ahead and prioritize that. I used to be all fussy about ensuring that I have like ceramic plates and all these things in my home and giving the children food out of ceramic plates, and I'm like, girl, are you mad? These kids are going to break these plates anyways. So I use plastic plates and it reduces my cleanup after dinner because, as you guys realize, already done the kitchen. So all I really need to do later on after my kids' shower routine is just to do dinner in those plastic plates, girl, put the food in the fridge, and that's it for my night. Like when I say anything at all that disrupts my peace, this girl is going to fix it, right? And so girly girl, this is basically what I wanted to share with you today, in just you going forth and altering whatever part of your life that you need to alter, right? Don't be afraid to take that step back and audit your life. I am so big on us auditing our lives, especially with a whole new year starting. Like, girl, it's time for you to be very serious and to just get rid of the crap. It's not funny. Like, I so want us to get so used to that, girly girl, where we see things in our lives that does not make us happy and don't be afraid to get rid of it, right? We're not afraid to say, look, you're not serving me, you're not bringing me peace, you're not giving me contentment, and you got to go. And that is where I am in my life right now, and that is where I have been actually for the last few months, maybe a year and a half now, where anything at all, anybody at all, anywhere at all that drains my energy, that does not make me feel as though I am living my best self, I am going to cut it off. And that's one of the major reasons, as I said before, I know you guys may be tired of hearing me talk about this, but that was one of the number one reasons why I had to do an entire apartment refresh, like an entire apartment makeover, because there was no peace in this place at one point. There was no contentment. This place was filled with anger and bitterness and just a whole heap of negative energy that needed to be cleaned out. And so me just taking that time within the last few months to pour into this place beyond measures. Like, I painted, I scrubbed, I decluttered, I got rid of, like, I just purged. I literally purged out this place. And this is why I always stress on it, you guys, that if it is that you're going on a globe journey, if it is that you're going on a journey where you just want to become your best self, or you just want to live in peace every single day, start with your home. Declutter. Let it be that place where you start to find your peace, right? And so I'm so happy, you guys, that even for today, where I'm not going anywhere, I don't have anything to do, I don't have anybody to talk to or anything, I'm like, girl, let me go turn on my camera and talk to my girlies, because I know they will listen to me. And not only listen to me, but I know they may be able to relate to the content, right? And so, girl, that's basically it. I don't remember if I talked to you guys about, yes, I did show it to you guys, where I said that I had another color to this one that I bought. It's like some really cute loungewear tops. So this one I purchased it at TJ Maxx with the other one, which is like a mauve color. Love them. They are so comfortable. I only wish that they were bigger, you know, so that I could like drown myself in it and it could be like this big like sweatsuit, but they did not have any more. And I was like, girl, maybe I should go to other locations and see if I can find bigger sizes, because I really do love how they fit me. I really do love the fact that even though I'm at home, it does not make me look unkept. I want to see if I can get some more of these loungewears that are really cute. And even though I'm not going to wear this when I'm going for my son, I still do love the fact that I can get to wear it meanwhile and still look put together without feeling all stucked up or cloaked up while at home during the winter days, right? This thing is so good, it's not funny. So girl, as I said before, take it easy on yourself and understand that it is okay for you to be selfish in this era of your life where you let other persons know that, you know what, I'm just doing life for me. don't be afraid to let these persons understand that, you know what, you have been draining me for so long and I just need a break right now. I'm going to go low to no contact. I'm going to start off with low contact. And you know that there are some persons in your life where you can't even give them that opportunity of going low contact with them. I'm just thinking about that right now. Like, there are some people in your life that doesn't even worth you giving them that opportunity of going low contact with them. Like, there are some people that you just have to cut off right away. Like, you just have to cut them off. There are some people that will even force you to the point of changing your number on them without giving them your address, just so that you can find peace. There are some people that you have to literally do that with, girly girl. You cannot let them know your whereabouts. You cannot let them have your phone number. You cannot let them know where you work anymore, right? You did like a whole MIA on them because of how toxic they are, because of how negative they are, because of just how filled with drama they are, that you literally have to just go MIA with these persons. And there are a few persons in my life that I literally had to do this with, and I must say that in the beginning of it, it felt really harsh. It felt like, girl, did you really need to go MIA on these persons? Did you really need to just cut them off like that? Yes. You needed to just cut them off like that. Like, you needed to just go MIA, because if you even have told these persons that you were going to do like a whole life transformation, if you went ahead and told these people your plans, they would be the same one to sabotage you. Now that I'm reflecting on it, like, if I never use that cold side of me to just go MIA on these persons, like literally no contact without no explanation whatsoever, these would have been the exact same people that would have held me back, that would have done everything in their power to ensure that I don't move forward. You understand what I mean? So while there are some people in your life that you can give them the grace of going low contact with them, where on special occasions you will call them, or whenever you feel like, whenever that inner voice in you say, you know what, say hi, and you just say hi, you know, there are those people that you have to give them that gracing, because you realize that a lot of the things, or a lot of the experiences that you had with these persons were not of their own. A lot of these persons may have been through traumatic experiences themselves and is finding it hard to move away from these things. So you have to give them the gracing and the benefit of the doubt that, you know what, I have to tender some amount of grace and I have to tender some amount of leniency, and I will just stick to low contact. Like, only when necessary you will talk to me, only when necessary you will see me, right? You have to give those people that benefit of the doubt. But there are some people, girly girl, that does not deserve this whatsoever. Like, there are some people that you have to just talk to them this morning, go home tonight, pack your stuff up, change your number, and go MIA. You literally have to go MIA. Let them be calling around, let them be texting around, let them be going to your old job, let them be coming to your old apartment, and they're like, we don't know where she is. And they're like, do you know where she is? Like, no. Did she leave any information? No. Did she say when she was coming back? No. Did she say how long she was going for? No. Do you know if she flew out the country? No. Because you just have to go no contact with these persons, because of not how toxic they are, but for the fact that they are so toxic that they will try to hold you back, right? And so, girl, I am just so happy in this season of my life right now. I am just so peaceful. I am just so grateful. I am just so honored for the fact that God has given me that opportunity to completely detox my life. Like, I am so grateful for this opportunity, girly girl. 6 months ago, I could not say this because I was in the heat of it, right? I was in the deep heat of it, where I was feeling the utter result of not having anybody at all to talk to, not having not even one friend that I can call and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling inside. I'm feeling so hurt. I'm feeling so betrayed. I'm feeling so unhappy. I could not call anybody. You know who I could call on? God. You know who showed up for me? God. You know who came and whispered in my ears and was like, it's gonna get better? God. nobody else, girly girl. And today is just a day where I have to recognize him, because he told me that this day would come, right? God told me that, you know what, girl, it's rough now, you're feeling the blunt of it now because you're not used to this, right? It is very uncomfortable. You are stepping out of your comfort zone to go ahead and make some decisions for your life that right now you cannot see the benefit of it, but as you progress, as you grow, as you elevate, you are going to see the benefit of being by yourself or doing most to all things solo. And now I can say, girly girl, 6 months later, at the end of 2024, I am completely 100% knowledgeable of what my grandma told me 20 years ago and what God has been telling me over the last year. So girl, while God may be whispering in your ears and tell you to move away from these people, or your inner voice may be telling you to move away from these people, I understand that it is not easy. I understand the pain. I understand the uncertainty that comes with wanting to do life by yourself or having to do life by yourself, right? I completely understand the effect that it may have on your mental health of not having anybody at all to talk to or to pour into you. But girl, do you rather the toxicity? Do you rather these persons being in your life that is draining the hell out of you? Do you rather being in some mixed up conversation all the time? Do you rather your name being out there and persons talking behind your back and telling deep secrets to other persons that you told them? Do you rather that, or do you rather your peace of mind? Also, this just dropped into my spirit and I need to talk about this also, right? No, there are some persons that are in our lives that God literally placed in our lives to keep us going, right? There are some persons that we have in our lives that are very genuine, that are very loving, that are very kind, that are always there for us, that have never done us anything wrong. There are persons in our lives that were literally God sent. However, there comes a season in your life when you have to still move away from these persons, right? There comes a season in your life when you have to tell these persons goodbye. There comes a season in your life when it's time for you to be elevated, and so the journey that these persons were on with you have come to an end. I also want you to understand that you going low contact or no contact with persons in your circle does not have to be because they are toxic. It doesn't have to be because they are negative. It does not have to be because they have done you something wrong or because they are not living an elevated life. It can simply be because God does not want them to come into this new era of your life, right? So there are some persons that you literally have to go cold turkey with, not because they have done you anything wrong, but just because their season in your life has ended. And I want to give you guys a really very, very touching story for me where this really happened to me, and this was with my so-called best friend, right? Before I moved to America years ago, when I was about to get married, actually, my so-called best friend, childhood best friend at that, has been living in America for years. Up to this day, you guys, I love this young lady so much. Like, this girl would steal food when she comes to Jamaica on vacation. She will steal food and give it to me just so that we could eat the same thing together. And it does not matter if her mom was like raging and quarreling that everybody else did not eat or whatever. This young lady, you guys, would literally steal food. Like, she would share 2 plates and say, go in my room with it, like, hurry, go in my room with it. And I would go in the room with my plate, and then she would share her plate as though it was the only plate, you know. Even when I got pregnant with my son, this young lady, you guys, she flew from America. This was one of the roughest seasons of my life. Like, this was one of the roughest seasons of my life. I was not working. I did not have any money, anything at all. And this young lady, you guys, she's 2 years older than me, actually. She left from America. She's a registered nurse, right? She left from America and she came to Jamaica at that time, and she came down with a suitcase filled with clothes for my son. She's my son's godmother. And she came to my doctor's visit, something that my ex-husband would not do. She came to my doctor's visit with me, guys, and she was asking the doctors everything about my health care, ensuring that everything was okay. Like, she was there. She was there. The first set of clothes that my baby put on his back when I gave birth to him in 2018 was bought by this young lady. And guys, I was getting married, and I told her that I was getting married, and she was supposed to be my bride, my maid of honor, right? She was supposed to be my maid of honor, and I don't know what went wrong, you guys. Up to today, I don't know what went wrong. Pull it together. Pull it together. Pull it together. This was not. Okay. So in all honesty, you guys, it's the first time I'm ever talking about this in 10 years. It's the first, well, not 10 years, because it was when I was about to get married. So in 6 years, it's the first time I'm ever talking about this. I've never spoken about it before. So I can understand why I'm so emotional about it, because I've never spoken about it. Like, never. So she was supposed to be my maid of honor, and we were doing everything together. Like, we were doing all the planning, we were doing everything that we needed to do together, because I was like, I don't care if you live in America, you are my maid of honor. Like, you have to be my maid of honor. There is no doubt about it, right? And guys, the only thing I can say was that she was very upset that I was getting married, and I don't think I need to explain why, because she knew every single thing about my life. She knew everything that I was enduring. She knew all the pain and the suffering and everything that I was going through with my ex-husband. Like, she knew every single thing. When my grandmother died, she became my soulmate, right? So she knew everything that was going on. And the only thing that I can say was that she was very upset that I was getting married, but she never said it. Even though she was trying to hide it, her spirit would not allow her to come to my wedding. And on the weekend when I was going to get married, she just told me that, you know what, I can't come. No explanation, nothing. And I have not spoken to her since then, and that was 6 years ago. Okay, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. I see what's going on, you guys. So last Sunday, as I told you guys, so today is Tuesday, so last Sunday, December 15th, would have been 6 years that I would have been married, right? And so this is, oh my God, I didn't even realize that. Oh my God. So right now, within this season that I'm talking to you guys, 6 years later, right now, would have been when I lost my best friend. Would have been when, and not to death, but when my best friend and I went no contact. Not low contact, no contact. And this was sudden, this was abrasive. I cannot tell you why. As I said, my best friend and I went no contact. Just like that, no explanation, no nothing. 6 years ago, around this exact same time. And it's so funny that God dropped this in my spirit right now while talking about this topic. And I want you guys to understand that none of my content is like script. I don't script my content. Anything that you hear me talk about on my channel is directly from my heart. Like, I don't sit down and write out things that I want to talk about. I may like pre-plan a topic, but in what I will talk about on that topic, I don't. Like, anything that you hear me from the beginning of the video to the ending is happening in real time. Like, I don't pre-plan anything. So me talking about this and anything at all that has to do with going low to no contact is 100% organic. As you guys realize that I wasn't even planning on talking about persons who have done you nothing wrong that you still have to go no contact with, right? That was not something that I was even planning on talking about. And so I need a drink, girl. Let me clean my face up. Hold on. Okay. So I think I've finally gotten that part out of my heart. Like, that is finally released after 6 years. Can you imagine how God works? Like, I was never planning on talking about this. This was nowhere on my heart at all, but God saw that I needed to release it now, because I am literally in my renewal era, right? So you can't be renewed but still have old things inside of you, and God knew that this really hit me hard, and for me to be talking about it 6 years later to the exact time frame is literally like God is doing some divine stuff that I cannot explain. But all I know is that He's renewing this girl. He's giving this girl a whole new story. And so I needed to get this out today. I needed to release it. Like, I was not planning on crying. I was not planning on crying whatsoever, but I needed to talk about that part also, where when God decides that it's time for you to be elevated, when God decides that it's time for you to be renewed, when God wants to take you so high, He's going to require you to go low contact or no contact with some persons, and these persons does not have to do you anything bad. These persons does not have to be toxic. These persons does not have to be negative. So it would have been no reason for her to just cut me off like that, right? Or for our connection to just be cut off like that. But as I said before, because I understand what God wanted to do for my life, in His eyes there does not need to be an explanation. I'm at peace. Why? Because I now see why I had to go no contact. I now see why God had to put me in a different category while also taking her in a whole new category. So girl, it is time for me to go put myself together to go pick up my child from school. It's time for me to go get organized and really journal. Like, this is something that I have to journal about. I have to journal about this, and I have to put a date to it. I have to put the time to it. Like, as I mentioned in Sunday's video, where it's literally like God is taking me on a whole new journey, starting the exact same dates that bad things happened in my life, right? He's giving me a whole new definition to these days. And these were two of the major, maybe these are the two top things that really happened, that really impacted my adult life, right? And that's getting married to somebody that I knew did not love me, that I knew did not sincerely want to be with me, and also losing my best friend, or the communication or the connection that I had with my soul best friend around the same time because of the same reasons. I say all that to say, girly girl, maybe in the future she and I will have a heart-to-heart conversation about this. I don't know, but if it is God's will, then it will happen. And if it doesn't happen, I'm at peace, I'm happy, and I'm okay. As I said, she is my son's godmother, and so I know for a very fact that if I even was supposed to pick up my phone tomorrow morning and call her, she would answer. But it is not the time, it is not the season. So if God sees it fit in the future, it will happen. But girl, this video, like, maybe I need to start scripting out my videos. That way I don't be coming on here and being all emotional, girl, because I'm not that emotional type. Like, girl, what's going on with you? I am not the emotional type. I'm not the cry girl type. I'm the vibesy, hardcore type of girl. So for me to be coming on social media and crying, it must be God doing some deep work into this girl. But girl, as I said, I am done talking to you for today. I'm going to go get myself ready. I'm going to go put myself together. It is almost time to pick up my child from school. Finish my little Celsius, edit this video that you guys can get it to watch and be inspired and motivated and all of the above. Alright, girly girl. So of course, I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all of the above, girly girl. My name is Octavia, just in case you did not know my name. And of course, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.